Hello, and welcome to Crisscross Factasauce, where we give you important facts every day about the world around you. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how technology has grown and expanded and how it truly affects our world. I am going to be doing a lot of comparisons between modern day technology and technology in the past, especially around 100 years ago. Technology has affected almost everyone around the world. It ranges from students to educators, stock investors, medical workers, patients, and pretty much every profession in our society. So, here's the thing. Technology has come a ridiculously long way. Like, seriously. I was doing some research on modern technology and I came across an article called Technology in the Long Run, written by Max Roser with World Economic Forum. Basically, Roser created a spiral timeline to accurately depict the change of technology from the very first invention. Every turn on the spiral represented about 200,000 years, and it started in the center almost 3.4 million years ago. It was labeled first tool use. Given that information, I can assume Roser meant sticks and stones and other kinds of natural tools. When you look at the spiral, you can see new inventions were really created up until about 200,000 years ago. There may be 4 or 5 major inventions coming to life, such as the controlled use of fire, bow and arrow, and beds. Around 10,000 BCE, a big breakthrough happened called the Agricultural Revolution. The Agricultural Revolution took place when the humans went from hunting and gathering to agriculture and animal domestication. After the Agricultural Revolution, people began to experiment with crops, fields, animals, and much more. This sparked all of the inventions that were to come. Some of the inventions after the Agricultural Revolution include glasses, microscopes, and photography, and other early on inventions. Fast forward to 1983 when the internet was invented, and that was another huge change in history. The internet opened up a whole new world. With the internet, we began to be able to connect and communicate with others globally. It changed how we manage our finances, how we work, access the internet, shop, and so much more. Honestly, the list is starting to become what seems to be endless. The internet is also how and where we see media. Years ago, the only option was to pick up a newspaper or learn news through word of mouth. Jump to modern times, and we have tons of options, including social media, televised news, websites, apps, and search engines. With all of these options, almost everyone is in the know of what is going on around them, from local drama and gossip to politics around the world. Another thing that came with the internet was the dot-com bubble. According to Corporate Finance Institute, it is a stock market bubble that was caused by speculation in dot-com or internet-based businesses from 1995 to 2000. Basically, there was an insane inflation and excessive speculation on stocks, meaning there was a lot of trading and investment in them. One of the main causes of the dot-com bubble was because of the ridiculous amounts of money that were being poured into tech and internet company startups. The dot-com bubble created a major stock market crash, tons of company failures, and a period of economic recession. Overall, the economy struggled for a little while because of it. Thankfully, we did recover, but we as a society do need to make sure we don't have another one. That would be really bad. If you want to help avoid having another one, here are some of the things Corporate Finance Institute recommends you do. Invest in new startup tech companies instead of those who are heavy in stocks. Avoid companies with a high beta coefficient so that if there is a market boom, then recession and stocks and investments will not suffer as much. And finally, look for unexpected stocks to invest in to avoid investing in the popular ones. Although those recommendations may seem annoying or stupid, they could very strongly affect our market in the future. In 2001, right after the dot-com bubble, Apple came out with the first iPod. This was just the beginning of the insane world of cellular devices today. Here's the thing. According to Adrienne Blanier, an author for the website Touchable, the original iPod was only able to store and play songs on an MP3, specifically around 1,000 songs. They required headphones to use audio, and it had a mechanical scroll wheel for navigation. For about 6 years, Apple continued to make iPods. They slowly became more and more high-tech. For example, in 2005, the iPod Shuffle had flash storage and random playback. However, the first big turnaround for Apple was in 2007 when they created the first iPhone. This new device allowed people to have a phone, iPod, and the internet all on one device. Obviously, we watched this new invention grow to be more and more popular, and as they grew more popular, Apple launched more and more products. Almost every year, they launched a new iPhone, each of them becoming more and more high-tech and giving their users a more versatile device. Although the phones became more high-tech, they also became insanely expensive. To be specific, the launch price of the first iPhone was $499, and the launch price of Apple's newest edition, iPhone 16, ranges from $799 to $1,199. That's crazy. Cell phones now seemingly have taken over the world, and you can never go anywhere without every single person carrying one. Not all cell phones are created by Apple, though. Some other popular companies include Samsung and Google Pixel. With all these different cell phones, people can communicate with others with instant connectivity, have navigation, and much, much, much more. However, phones have been proven to have some downsides, including addiction and overdose to the phones, security problems such as stalking, reduced attention spans, and it has negatively impacted how people socialize face to face. So, obviously, people have been given many good opportunities with cell phones, but there are many downsides to come with it. Outside of portable devices such as the ones I listed before, there are also other bigger devices that change our lives in different ways. One big example I can give you is the medical field. It's hard to even explain how much technology has changed our healthcare system. Thanks to Harold Thimbleby, an author for the National Library of Medicine, I can tell you that there are so many different ways. To start, we have drugs and treatments such as antibiotics. Antibiotics weren't even invented until 1928. With antibiotics, people can easily get over a sickness such as strep throat, something that could have been deadly in the 19th century. We also have anesthetics. These provide insensitivity to pain in situations such as surgery, childbirth, and other interventions. They can also put patients to sleep. Anesthesia improved the medical field drastically because patients can now comfortably get all procedures done. Another invention used in the medical field is imaging scanners. The main scans that take place in the medical field are X-rays, CT scans, MRI, ultrasounds, and PET scans. All of the machines I listed above take high-quality images inside the human body. This is super important because it helps doctors find issues from broken or fractured bones to dangerous tumors anywhere on the body. This has helped save countless patients from unsafe conditions such as cancer. Those three inventions I briefly explained before don't even begin to explain how high-tech and important our medical field is today. It is easier to understand if you can see the difference between a hospital 100 years ago versus now. For example, 100 years ago, hospitals were extremely unsanitary environments and mainly only treated patients who were dying. Very morbid, I know. Also, there weren't a lot of methods to heal patients. The main ways were bloodletting, which was the medical practicing of removing ridiculous amounts of blood from the body in hopes of removing the disease. And they used a lot of herbal or chemical-based remedies, which we now know are not safe. On top of that, they also didn't have a lot of big vaccines, such as polio and whooping cough. In fact, being in the hospital just wasn't a safe place to be. Smoking was allowed and the rooms were often overcrowded, and hospital stays would typically last a very long time. If you compare all that to a hospital from modern times, it is quite different. Although it may not appear too different at first glance, technology has brought us so far. Now the hospital is probably one of the most sanitary environments you will ever visit, and you would never see someone smoking a cigarette in the corner of the room. Lifespans 100 years ago were about 47 years old, and now it is 72 years old. That is a big difference and an amazing improvement. All of the improvements we have are because we were able to learn about the body and the best ways to keep it safe and healthy. How did we do that? With many years of technology expanding. Like I said before, I very, very, very briefly explained how the medical field has been affected, and there is so much more to be said about it. To learn more about it, I would really recommend the National Library of Medicine. They give a lot of great information and have some fascinating studies.